If you're actively believing this and commenting this, then I can say confidently, you're ignorant, you don't know the Bible, and you're not displaying the fruits of the Spirit.
Oh boy, here we go.
Where do all these guys come from?
I guess let's figure out what his definition of fruits of the Spirit is.
I mean this with all due respect, but it's remarkable how many Christians think that adultery is the same thing as premarital sex.
Jesus said if you look at a woman with lust, you've committed adultery with her in your heart. That's Matthew 5 verse 28, the Sermon on the Mount. Take that in and think about that for at least 2 seconds. Sin starts in the heart. Just looking at a woman with lust counts as adultery. That's how high the standard is for righteousness. That's how high the standard for perfection is.
Adultery is cheating on your spouse. Adultery is not the same as premarital sex. Adultery means you're violating a covenant commitment you made to somebody. That is very different. It's categorically different than having a consensual sexual relationship with someone you're not married to.
Are you serious?
So it sounds like he's trying to brush off premarital sex, which is sexual immorality, as not being a sin because it doesn't count as adultery. But Jesus literally said if you look at a woman with lust, it counts as adultery. And there are tons of verses condemning sexual immorality as a sin. Put to death, therefore, what is earthly in you: sexual immorality, impurity, passion, evil desire, and covetousness, which is idolatry. Now the works of the flesh are evident: sexual immorality. Both times it was the first work of the flesh that was brought up. So then what counts as sexual immorality? 1 Corinthians 7 verse 2, but because of the temptation to sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman her own husband. This verse literally says that any sexual activity outside of marriage between a man and a woman is sexual immorality. If God sees looking at a woman with lust as adultery in your heart, then it's safe to say his standard for what counts as sexual immorality is just as high. And are we just going to pretend that following him calling out adultery, he said, pluck your eye out if it causes you to sin? Cut your hand off if it causes you to sin? Sin starts in the heart. Kind of seems like your heart posture here is justifying your sin. They call that pride and idolatry. Jesus didn't die to justify your sin. He died to save you from it. Time to repent. And with that being said, hey, Spider-Man can't save you, but Jesus can.